Sounds good. All right. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Tiffany Wycoff. I'm the founder of Generation Remix, and I'm co-designing this project alongside amazing young people like the ones here before you today. And what we focus on is helping youth really drive digital wellness and help younger youth, especially like learn how to have screen time balance in their life and just live and thrive in the digital world instead of being controlled by the algorithms that are trying to, suck our attention away. So I am going to be turning it over to our youth panel and asking some questions of them to get their perspective. Generation Remix is all about by youth for youth. And so everything that we'll talk about today is being created by the youth leaders in our organization. And today we're going to share with you some insights and then also a couple resources that you can use to help your youth get active as leaders in your community. Okay, enough about me. Isa, would you like to introduce yourself and share a little bit about why you care about this work?
Hi, yeah, I'm Issa. I'm a senior at the Bay School, and I joined last spring, kind of helping Tiffany get Generation Remix off here in like the Bay Area. I was really interested because I noticed that I had lost this creativity in myself as I had grown up, and since I'd gotten a phone, just becoming genuine, like a less interesting person, I feel like, losing all these activities, outdoor time. And I saw this like around the people around me as well. Like at lunch, everyone would be on their phones instead of getting outside. So I kind of wanted to switch the narrative and be able to help youth not have to go through what I did.
Awesome. Thanks. Cece, you want to go next?
Yeah, hi, my name is Cece. I'm a sophomore at the Branson School. And similar to Issa, the reason that I joined this work is because I was noticing tech and phones and everything. It was becoming the central meeting point for all activities, for hanging out with your friends, even just during breaks between classes. You turn right to your phones. And so I wanted to kind of promote that healthier balance of screens and getting off of our phones within my own community and put that outreach to everyone else. And having this community of my own. So that's been really great.
Thanks, Cece. Anna.
Hi, my name is Anna. I'm a junior at Petaluma High, and I think similar to Issa and Cece, I've been able to see how it kind of takes a toll on my friendships, and I wanted to try to like kind of make a difference in that community. And I've been able to see that like kind of like how Issa was saying, like during lunch and stuff, like all of our phones are kind of like revolved around what we're talking about, or like they're always just kind of there, and it seems to be grabbing more attention than like the actual conversation that we could be having. And I just feel like being able to prioritize not being on your phone and like getting away from screen time has been able to like deeper my conversations and like just make topics significantly more interesting between like me and my friends.
Awesome. Thanks, Anna. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you guys actually do as Generation Remix leaders. Can you just share something that you have worked on that you really enjoyed working on for Generation Remix or have done lately, like participated in, obviously outside of this panel? So anybody can hop in.
I really enjoyed getting to be a part of the workshops. So, Generation Remix is youth, teaching youth led by youth. So that means that the workshops that are being presented to these middle schools, come from us directly. So I helped create the POV remix, the Teach Five, remix, presentation. And yeah, I've just been enjoying being able to go to middle schoolers and interact with the kids themselves and see how they react and how like this kind of like changes their mindset and they like realize that these things that are about to come up if they're younger or like that they have been doing and try to change those habits.
Awesome.
For me, I've really enjoyed working on this AI life choices sort of choose your own adventure workshop. So we actually collaborated with a couple of other remixers and we used AI to create this. And that's kind of the point. It's about healthy incorporation and about where do you draw the line between too much and still creating your own ideas. And so we made a choose your own adventure game that we're using with middle school students. So it's a really interactive, fun, exciting way. So that's been one of my favorite collaborations that we've done.
Yeah, and I love that process you see that we went through, and I wanted to comment on like we definitely used AI, and but we were building off of the original idea that you guys had. You were like, let's build a choose your own adventure game, and then we made a lot of choices and wrote them down, and you guys were workshopping them, and then you were also using AI to kind of bolster that the content in it and come up with even more ideas. So I think it's important the way that we're building the skills that we need for tomorrow's workforce and soon to be your workforce, right? But also just not like handing over the tasks that we're doing to AI. So it's been really cool to integrate that. Awesome. Anna, you want to share?
Yeah, I was gonna say that like I haven't gone to do and presented. I've looked over the workshops and like they're great and I love all the information that we're including in the workshops. I haven't gotten to present one yet, but I've had a lot of fun and like honestly just learned a lot these past couple of weeks from the clubs that we've been doing at our school and like the weekly meetings that we've been doing and like honestly just being able to spread the information to like the community that I know the most and I'm like the most familiar with and like the closest with has been super interesting, especially because I feel like being like another teenager who also struggled with like being addicted to my phone and stuff, being able to relate to like my classmates and like my friends and teaching them like it's not all like gonna be that hard to be able to like get off your phone and stuff and like showing facts and like everything has been very interesting and like grabbing people's attention and stuff. And I'm so excited to like be able to apply that to presenting to middle schoolers.
Yeah, it's great. And a couple of people have started clubs. So a couple of things we do, we present. Obviously, we have presentation materials, which we'll share in the chat, and they are open source. And we just ask that you tell us if you use them so that we can understand how you use them and the impact that you've had. We're also trying to build an app of our own, right, to house the all of the leadership actions and track our impact, and we're using vibe coding for that. So that's a whole new adventure that we're taking on. And we have a functional prototype, so it's been cool to kind of get your insight on how that should look and have people
Why?
in the code working on it. Yeah. What's something that you are working on right now for your own digital well-being?
Um, oh, you said you want to go? Okay, thank you. For me, I've just been working on like honestly, it seems like it wasn't going to do too much, but just putting my phone out of the room for like a few hours a day, or especially when I'm sleeping. I feel like a lot of the time I struggled with falling asleep, and I was always questioning to myself why that was. And I would use the excuse of like, oh, because I can't fall asleep, I'm gonna go on my phone and like all that stuff. But in reality, just having that phone out of your atmosphere and out of like the place where you're supposed to be relaxed the most has just made the most impactful difference to me. Alongside, like throughout the day, I've been able to have like I think it's called grayscale on my phone, which just makes everything like significantly less interesting to look at. And like it's made me be able to prioritize just using my phone to communicate with the friendships that I have when I have to and my parents.
Awesome. Hey, John, can you mute?
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. There's just a little background noise. All good.
Yeah, it's raining here.
Who else?
For
Yeah.
for my own digital well-being, I've been really prioritizing, mostly in social settings, during class, at school, during breaks, just putting my phone in my bag and away. So obviously there are going to be times when I need to use my phone, if that's coordination or classes and everything, but I really want to avoid having that, you're talking to someone and avoid glancing down at your phone or avoid picking it up because I get a notification. And so I felt that it makes my interactions with just anyone all throughout the day just a lot more meaningful and genuine. So that's been my bit of the week.
Love it.
I have been just trying to enjoy my lunches more and like my times that I'm not actually doing school because I would find myself, even if I wasn't on my phone, I'd be on my computer because I felt like I had to do work. So I'm letting myself actually enjoy my friends, especially for senior year. Like I wish I had started this sooner, but I'm really trying to value the relationships I have. And but I'm outside pretty much every day that I can be, that I'm not in a meeting during lunch and playing ping pong and playing music with my friends and this is like, I don't know, it feels very like getting back to like my roots or something, or like feeling like I'm a kid again. So it's really nice.
Yeah, I love that. And I love what you've shared about the phone stacking, the phone buddies or whatever. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, we also, my friends and I, whenever we go out to eat or when we're like just with each other, we have phone pile where we stack all of our phones like in the middle, and it kind of like holds each other accountable because like our phones are all stacked. You can't really grab yours or the whole pile falls down. So it's just a good way to like be present in the moment.
Ah, exactly. So I'm gonna pop up our screen share just for a few minutes, just so we could share a couple of the slides of the one that you guys usually do when you go into the middle schools, and we'll show the kind of facts that we usually talk about and the concept behind the Teach 5 challenge, and then we'll wrap up. So let me pull that up real quick. I think I have it ready to roll. And I should mention this was designed, this workshop in part was designed by Isa and a couple of friends, and then has been added to through other cohorts of people, of remixers specifically. So let me pull it up. So yeah, I will try to get this resource out to the conference attendees. But basically, we have everything shareable, so you can download the handouts, you can download and which include the logs and the activities, and you can count the number of kids that the kids teach, because at the end of this, we challenge everyone to teach at least 5 people. But this is the Screen Life Remix. It's about how to just make sure you're spending most of your life in the real life and understanding when you're spending time on your screen, what that time is for. And we have some facts that we like to share. Do you guys just want to like high level run through these? Awesome. Go for it. Isa, you want to start kick us off?
Yeah, so algorithms have been designed to keep our attention on our screens, according to Center for Humane Tech. This means that when you're on TikTok or like, I don't know, on Instagram, these short little videos are like behind the scenes, there's these algorithms that are keeping you like scrolling.
Yeah. And then according to Center for Disease Control, kids spend an average of 6 to 8 hours per day on screens, which seems like a high number, and it is, but when you're not like counting it and like trying to keep yourself accountable, the time can go by really quickly.
And what we found is that it's impactful to share this stat because that means 1 in 4. So 25% of teens use social media to a level of addiction. And that amount, like social media, you think of it as just an app, but it has this addictive consuming algorithm that traps you in.
So we are losing our ability to kind of like focus and pay attention due to this attention fragmentation, which comes from those logger or algorithms, excuse me. Also like attention span, all of that is due to these like scrolling apps that make you like doom scroll for hours.
Yeah. And then according to Sapien Labs, 50% of teens struggle with mental well-being. And we like to kind of think that this may be because of social media and just stuff like that.
Yeah, well, there's a correlation that is emerging that's very compelling that shows that the younger kids get their phones and social media, the greater the impact is on their mental well-being. And all of the attention fragmentation things that we talk a lot about short form content, and the inability to watch like a full show without also being on our phone. So we're just trying to like rein it in, and have big kids talk to younger kids about it. And also sometimes like parents and kids to talk together. So that was our POV remix that Isa was mentioning. We'll do just like one more, but we love this tool from Unplugged, and basically have this like screen time calculator that allows you to calculate the amount of years you're spending on your device if you're scrolling. And so we use this in our presentation because it's just like kind of interactive. So I don't know, do you guys want to, did one of you want to like give your current screen time?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
16 and my average screen time is 4 hours a day.
Okay. So that means over the course of the rest of your life, if we keep going, then we would have over 10 years, almost 11 years spent screening. It's kind of a interesting. How do you feel about that, Cece?
That's probably 10 years I could be doing something a lot cooler. And it's motivating for sure to get off of my screen.
Yeah. They have this cool tool where you can see like, okay, how many months is that? If you have how many months are we left on Earth, which is kind of like shocking to see. And I'd like to think that I have more than always is shown, but it talks about how much time we spend sleeping and then studying and working and then cooking and eating and then errands and going to the bathroom. And so then you're left with like everything else. And if you're on your screen for 130 months, almost 11 years, that doesn't really leave you with very much free time. So it's just a good thing to kind of like think about when I'm going on tech. Some of you guys I know have used some apps like ClearSpace to help you like think about whether you're going to go on something. Does that work sometimes for you?
I've been wanting to get it. I still haven't gotten it yet because I think I had to pay. I don't know. I was confused, but I've heard
Yeah.
my friends have it and they say it works great because it's like you open the app and it's like you have to wait like a certain amount of times. Like, oh, okay, fine, I'm not gonna do it. So I've heard it's effective. Yeah.
I've used the
Yeah.
free version, which gives you one. Cece, have you used it?
Yeah, I use ClearSpace because it's funded through my school. And I've noticed basically what Issa said is I would rather not scroll through Instagram than wait 20 seconds to open the app. That's what I found.
Yeah.
Um, so it really is helpful and it's discouraging to open the apps, which is great.
You're like, do I have to read that inspirational quote now? I don't really want to. I just wanted to go on TikTok. So maybe I'll go do something else. So it's kind of just enough distraction to interrupt the flow. Um, anyway, and then this is an activity that Issa, you envisioned, and what's the point of this activity?
So I wanted to do this because I felt like it was a good way for people to kind of just map out. See, this is 24 hours in a day. So students will get this like handout and then they'll fill in what they're doing, like a third of that sleep, a third of that's at school, and then it's kind of like, how are you choosing to spend the rest of your time? And we just went to Marin Primary Middle School yesterday, and you'll see like the students they'll write it all up. They have a great time doing it. It's an interactive, it's a good way to break up the like kind of lecture style. And then they'll be like, oh, I need to get more sleep, or I'd rather give up this for that. And it's just a good way for them to become conscious, like visually seeing how they're spending their time.
Yeah. It's a really good activity. And then we watched a movie from a partners. We're not going to watch it today, but I highly recommend you check it out. It's from Take Two Media Initiative, and they're really good friends and partners of ours in New York City doing some cool work, also youth led. And this is a video that just sort of in a few minutes captures the essence of what algorithms are trying to do and how much you can get lost when you think you're going to be on it for just like 3 minutes and then all of a sudden, hours go by. So definitely recommend checking out their resource. And we just have like kind of kids sharing out after that. This is some new content from Anna's cohort recently, added some information about gaming because, I mean, why did you guys think that was important to add?
I thought that specifically, like, I just feel like there's so much like lack of knowledge about it. Like, there has been so many times at school where like we've gotten like teachers will talk to us about cybersecurity and everything, but just kind of brush over the idea that like it's important and that like everybody should know about it. But we never really go through actual resources and look through statistics and know like how many people are actually affected by it. I know that like a lot of people can be like affected super negatively about it because just like being able to be exposed like that to something and not knowing the consequences of it is can and will be severe.
Yeah, awesome. And then we play a game. we basically divide the group in two and we play this like toxic tech taboo. Issa or Cece, do you guys want to describe like what happens during that game?
Sure. So it's like a normal game of taboo that you might know. There are some phrases or terms that there are teams that we split up the kids into, and they choose an actor, and the goal is to act out what this toxic tech term is. So it could be something like doom scrolling, and they would have to figure out a way to communicate that it's doom scrolling. And then it's sort of like the charades act. You run up and you get the right answer and you gain points. So it's fun, it's interactive, but at the same time, it's communicating really clearly some of these issues that we're addressing.
Right. So Issa, let's play. If she said the word was doom scrolling, how would you describe it without saying that word?
I would say on my phone, constantly, I can't say scrolling, can I? Unable to get off my device because I'm on TikTok. I don't know that.
Exactly. And eventually someone out and yells out doom scrolling and that team gets a point. So it's just like kind of a fun and silly. Again, like one of our mantras, and I don't know if we said this in the beginning, but it's lock in and have fun. And so everything that we're trying to do, even though we talk about very serious things, all of our resources have a lot of fun in them because we believe in, just like having fun and being joyful while we're tackling a really serious challenge. All right. So you've got the cheat sheet if you're a facilitator, so you have all the words. And then we end this program by challenging others to teach five people in their lives. So I don't know, what are some examples of people that kids have taught?
We've had one guy teach his whole baseball team, I believe it was.
Yeah. That's very true. And we also had, remember when we went to one of the middle schools, a couple of middle schools would teach the like leadership team, and then they went and taught everybody in their school through advisory. So that was also very cool. But in this way, we're trying to multiply the impact. Every time a young person talks to another young person, we're just challenging them to spread it. And that way we have, in the best way, like, viral multiplied moments of impact. Yeah, so that's our Teach Five Challenge workshop. It has some tips that are in the, that we end with, and we, share something that's really working for us. You heard a couple of people talk about avoiding phones in bed and balancing their lives, setting limits, understanding what the tech is doing. We talk about waiting a lot, especially when we're talking to younger audiences, because and we give them like props for waiting, right? So we were just at a couple schools where like kids have been waiting and they've signed wait till eight contracts or whatever. And we try to make them feel really proud about that. And I think all of you guys usually you share that you wish you would have waited a little bit longer. Is that right? Yeah. So, we just try. Anna, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, now that I feel like the hardest part about like decreasing my addiction to my phone was like the fact that I already know what I'm missing. And when I was younger, like, there wasn't too much to like explore already because I never had the phone. And so I was just gonna say that I wish I waited a little bit longer because I didn't know what it was to have a phone.
Yeah.
And just to build off of Anna, I think something for me that I also struggled with was, oh no, I'm missing out. My friends are all doing this thing. And so I begged and begged and begged. And part of what I really like to do is make it cool. Like my friends all kind of laugh at me that I have this screen time app, but it's not a big deal. And I try to communicate that to some of the younger students that we're talking to. I'm like, who cares? You're doing this and it's cooler. Just embrace it. And no one, it's at the end of the day, no one's going to give you a hard time for it. And it's overall better. So just embracing and emphasizing the positive aspects.
Sure. For sure. All right. Well, we hope that you use our resources, especially this one that you can go and lead this workshop or share it with teenagers who want to train on it and use it, and then report back their Teach Five impact, who they taught directly, and then how many people those people taught. So we have all the resources here for you to use, and we'll make sure that we send out this and also the other POV remix and the AI remix as well. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you guys, Isa, Anna, and Cece for representing Generation Remix and your entire generation. So way to go. Showed up strong. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Wonderful
John.
job. So good to see how you progressed since last year. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. We're starting a movement. All right. Bye.